Latin. German was not then a literary language, scholarly language, truths of fact, you see, dependent on the contingency of certain events of a historical sort. Truths of reason? Well, anything, for instance, of the nature of a definition, which simply unpacks what is already logically contained within the concept. Like Descartes, the three angles of a triangle add up to two right angles. You cannot have a mountain without a valley, because these are logically necessary given the concepts, not the perception of things existing, but the concept, the general concept of a triangle or a mountain. So there's a distinction between truths of fact, nothing new there, nothing new about saying one is contingent, the other is necessary, nothing new about saying one depends on the law of sufficient reason, the other on the law of non-contradiction. You see, Aristotle could have said the same. What is distinctive is that both kinds of truths are innate, inasmuch as we're dealing with windowless monads. Now, even Descartes seems to allow that sense perceptions are physically caused by virtue of sense stimuli and the mind-body causal interaction. But not Leibinz. Even sense perceptions are innate. Even the sense perceptions of animals are innate. You see? The pre-established harmony works that way. Now, what then does this say about freedom, human freedom, will and intellect, that cluster of questions? Well, here you have to be very careful, because the discussions of freedom and will and intellect that occurred in Descartes and Hobbes and Spinoza were discussions entirely in the context of the notion of efficient and material causation. Just that. On the other hand, Leibniz tells us that monads are both material cause, efficient cause, formal cause, and final cause. He's back to the four Aristotelian causes. So he's going to have a conception of the will, not in terms of caused or uncaused efficient causation style, determinism or indeterminism, so that it looks as it does in Descartes, he says, as if a free will chooses in a causal vacuum, simply in the light of how much he knows. You see? No. Free will is rather a matter of apperception and appetition. That is to say, there is an inner directedness, there is an inner drive, there is final causation, and you have to define what it is to be free, not just in terms of efficient causation, but in terms of final causation. There's no vacuum of final and formal causes in this monadology, you see. And I think he's right, at least in this, that much modern contemporary discussion of freedom and determinism is premised on the notion that a free will is one where there are no efficient causes determining the outcome. That is to say, equating freedom with indeterminism. He won't buy that. I think he's right that if we're purposive beings, if there is a teleology running through human behavior and human existence, that you've got to get a teleological conception of freedom. Now the question is whether his teleological conception of freedom will do it. So tune in, same time, same station, on Friday. And we'll pick that up and then work into the problem of evil.